Hey there, welcome back. So last episode, I talked about the idea of listening to your body. I wanted to do two parts out of that, so a why and a how, because both go into great detail. So just to recap a little bit the why from last time, I kind of build different bubbles or spheres that surround the topic. Starting from the idea of society dividing the mind and the body and the hierarchy that exists, then going over to healing, how listening to the body is a really useful tool for healing processes, going to movement, so basically movement helping to listen to the body, and listening to the body helps with your movement. Also then in the realm of food, the bubble of food, and for example, the idea of intuitive eating, that really relies on listening to the body. Then healing practices or mindfulness practices that many of us nowadays like to do, such as meditation and yoga. Listening to the body is really, really helpful in those practices. And then the last one is the body feeling, body image, and confidence that comes when you start to listen and respond to your body. So today the how is something that I noticed for many of people and people I work with, that it is actually really difficult to listen to your body. So for many people it is hard to actually feel anything because they're so used to using their minds, their heads. They're so used to doing everything just, mind-based, basically. That for them to listen and feel and notice is so foreign that it is very hard to tap into this. So it is something that can be very easy, but at the same time as it is not, I would like to do some exercises today for you to be able to either use them in your daily life to learn what it means to listen to your body, and that you can apply on a regular basis, because the more you practice something, the more it will take over and will be internalized, become a habit, and it's more useful for you then. Just one thing that is really interesting is when you are able to listen to your body, it requires for you to also trust the signals that it sends you. So trusting, and then also the ability to interpret what your body is telling you. Because, for example, there's a difference between a stretch that has a pain that is good and feels great, and a stretch that has a pain that will actually hurt you and leave you more stiff for a few weeks or even injure you. So these are two things that you have to keep in mind: the ability to interpret it, and then also the trust that what your body tells you is actually based on its own intelligence and its own abilities. So coming to how do you actually feel into your body, there are different things that you can do to practice this. So one, very simple, if you just sit comfortably and then breathe. So if you do that for me, so just sitting and breathing, if your breath moves you, that's already a good sign. So it helps. When you're not moving, it means that you're really holding a lot of tension. And if you're very stiff, it makes it hard to actually feel something in your body. So if you're soft and your breath can move you, so basically you inhale, you expand, you get bigger and wider. And exhale, you get softer. This small movement, it can be small, it can be bigger, but it actually helps you to feel something. So you feel the air going in and out, or you feel your ribs expanding, maybe your shoulders lifting, maybe even your arms are moving, or you feel down all the way into your tummy. The movement helps you to actually feel something, because if you don't move, there's nothing going on, and then it is very hard to put your focus and your mind like into, for example, your hand hanging somewhere. So the breathing part is also something that you can use in other activities. But the breathing helps you just first of all to check in, to see if you are soft, and then invite movement in for you to feel. So that's why I love, and a lot of people try to emphasize it, but it's sometimes a little hard when you do yoga and you breathe for it to, for example, move you, for it to soften you, for it to expand you. So there's a lot of things that your breath can do, and it helps you to experience more things in a place. So if you are in a down dog and you hold yourself really stiff and there's no movement happening, there's not that much you can experience. So there's not that much that your body can signal you besides maybe getting tense and stiff. But if you breathe and you notice how your breath invites in maybe movement, and maybe that can expand. So basically you are getting more soft. It helps you to notice, oh, maybe there's a stretch that I can find. Maybe there's like a release I can find. Maybe there's something else. So this is a really good tool. So coming back to the exercise, if you just sit and soften and breathe, the next step now is to see all the different parts of your body that you can feel, that you can experience. Again, maybe it is your chest, maybe it is the movement of the air going in and out, but try to find as many things as possible that you can feel. So it can go from your face, nose, you can go also in a system, but you can also try to feel what comes up, what is the most prominent, and then from there work through all the places that are maybe less prominent and see how can you make them more prominent, that you actually realize how do they feel, how's the situation. And from there, when you breathe and you notice, you can start to interpret it in the sense of, for example, oh, maybe I hold on to some tension that I don't need, and then I can release it. So I have the ability to act on it, to respond. Oh, maybe there's tension in my hips or something because I'm sitting uncomfortable, and maybe I can change my position a little bit. So these things are small steps to realizing what you notice, what you feel. And if it's hard for you to do that sitting and breathing because there's not enough movement going on, you can always change, for example, going onto all fours. You can change standing up, swaying around. So just inviting more movement in for your body to have an action happening, for you to feel it. And then from there, maybe go back to coming into a seat or coming into something that is like less movable. Check in if now it has changed your experience. So these are small like things or mechanisms that you can do, for example, in a yoga practice, but also if you are in your home, or if you are waiting for a bus. So these are things that are not visible on the outside necessarily, but are visible for yourself, so feelable for yourself. And the more, again, you apply it, the more aware you become of how you feel, of your body. And yeah, it's a great tool for you to just internalize and use in many different cases. Thank you very much.